Continuing coverage here at Origins 2019, Columbus, Ohio. You'd think it's Sunday, but it's actually Thursday. I'm here with Conor McGoey from your InsideUp games. I'm exhausted. We're both exhausted.
It's actually Monday morning and the hall's empty. We're just tired.
Oh my gosh. Conor, thank you so much for being on the show. This is our friendiversary.
I know, isn't that
crazy? This is our first time, or last year I had met you and checked out Summit, which is what surrounds us here today.
Yeah.
And I purchased it immediately and played it, and we actually talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah,
and it was
awesome.
like a mountain version of Arkham Horror in which everything that could go wrong does go wrong in this game. And I absolutely loved it because it just tells a great story. And the component quality, which is always important to me, is A+.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I know it's evil of me, but I love all the bad things that happens because, as you say, it creates a story every time.
Yeah. So you're here located in Exhibit Hall C.
Yep.
And you were literally staring at the front doors.
Yeah.
So immediately when people come into the exhibit hall, InsideUp Games is right in your face. And you guys have a ton of tables here. So what are you guys showing off for today?
Yeah, so we got kind of lucky. We had a last-minute cancellation, so we were kind of able to upgrade our booth area and combine it with our event area. So yeah, we have this glorious 20 by 40, so 800 square feet of gaming space instead of my normal 10 by 10, right?
Yeah. This is
corner.
Completely. I was so surprised. I'm so happy too that you guys were able to get this space.
And when we got it, I was like, oh, for sure, we're going to be like jammed in some corner behind like some dusty shelving. And then I saw the exhibit hall map, and I was like, in front of the main doors.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So anyways, to answer your question, yeah, so you can't see behind the camera, but basically we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more tables set up, doing a competitive summit, a cooperative summit, teams, Gorus Maximus, separate player Gorus Maximus. On our table with us, we have the prototype for the teams expansion for Summit, and then behind us we have the Seven Souls prototype for our most recent game, which just finished Kickstarter last week. So we are doing demos, we're doing events on the side, we're doing sales, all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah. So far you've been 2 days into it. How are people responding to Summit, to Gorus, to Seven Souls? Like, how has the reception been?
It's been really good. So yesterday, as you mentioned, we're in Hall C, so that is the gaming hall. Hall B, the exhibit hall, was not open yesterday as they were setting up. We only had until noon to set up, and then they opened the door of the gaming hall, which to our advantage meant that people actually came to the booth right away. They played games, they purchased games. So we were jam-packed busy from noon to 8 o'clock last night, just going game after game after game.
Yeah.
And it went really, really well. I mean, a lot of people who have heard about Summit are coming to try it out. People who have already got it are coming back for the Yeti expansion. Those who are in the know come and try out the teams expansion.
Yeah.
So all that's going really well. Gorus has been a big hit. It was a huge hit last year.
Huge hit last year.
Because all the euchre players, huge in the Midwest, I was told.
Mm-hmm.
So people can pick it up really easy. It could do the 1 to 8 players. So yeah, just getting a ton of Gorus playthrough yesterday. We have the top secret promo card, which is releasing at Gen Con. But I have a couple copies of it here to hand out.
Okay.
And then, just kind of helping to promote the Seven Souls as well because of the last Kickstarter to get some more late pledges in there.
Yeah, for sure. So for those that aren't aware or have never played Summit before, what is like that elevator pitch of what Summit is?
So if I'm trying to get someone's attention, I would say I have a survival game for 1 to 6 players that can be played competitively, cooperatively, or solo on a 2-sided board. So that usually stops them because realistically you're either a competitive gamer, a cooperative gamer, a solo gamer, or a combination. So in theory I should have all those boxes checked off. And when I made this teams expansion, I realized I even got the semi-cooperative box checked off now. So that teams and the summit and everything is going to work out really well to kind of get your interest. And then when they walk over and look at the board, I say, there's all sorts of mechanics. You are route building, you're playing a new mountain every time, difficulty settings from very easy to very hard. Everyone has their own individual player mat with stats and abilities, resource management, press your luck, die rolling, card drafting.
Yeah.
It's all in there.
Yeah, it's great. The easiness of just being able to place these tiles, creating this whole trek up this mountain to be able to get to the top and go back down. Yeah, it's phenomenal. And what was the most interesting thing was too with Summit that you told me was every single card, was it in the blue deck, I think?
Yep.
Is completely unique. There is
every card in the game.
Every card in the game is unique, which is Show that deck of cards. Like for those people that are watching the video,
That's one deck.
It's a single. It's like a huge deck of cards. Every single one being unique. So it's like there is truly a unique experience every time. Versus like oh no, it's a landslide. There's another one. No, it's like it's pretty awesome. So I have a quick challenge for you.
I'm gonna make you read this one, but not say it on air. This is from the Teams expansion.
No. No, are you serious?
Quadruple black diamond.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Because I'm evil.
Yeah, that is evil, and you guys won't be able to find out just now what I just read. I have a challenge for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Gorus Maximus. Explain Gorus Maximus without describing the excellent illustration by Quan Mora.
Without mentioning it, okay, I will say it is a 1 to 8 player trick-taking card game. So if you're familiar with the euchre, hearts, spades, bridge, anything like that, I could teach it to you in about 2 minutes. The big difference being that we've assigned values to the cards, both negative and positive. So now you want to win the right tricks, not all the tricks.
Yep.
And also the ability to manipulate trump throughout the hand. So you can actually create a challenge, which is matching the rank of the last card played. That'll immediately change trump to your suit, but it's not changing what's being asked for. So you're able to manipulate the game as you see fit. In other trick-taking games, you can be dealt a bad hand and sit there saying, oh, I'm useless this game.
Yeah.
But in Gorus Maximus, that's never the case because you can jump in, switch up trump, and kind of manipulate the game as you see fit.
Yeah, that's awesome. So with the challenge accepted and completed, tell me about you getting together with Quan and being like, I want you to make the bloodiest cover of all board games.
To be fair, that credit goes entirely to Quan.
Really?
So I had met Quan through Summit and through the Brawling Brothers years ago at Gen Con.
Okay.
He came over as a guy in the crowd to say how much he liked the artwork. And Brandon Nell of the Brawling Brothers recognized him and said, hey, Connor, this is Quan. We had a little bromance, at which point I said how much I loved his artwork and I'd love to work with him. We chatted, tried to figure out one of the games I had planned that could work. This one kind of spoke to him. And at the time, my plan was for it to be called Switch Doctor because you're switching trump and to have like a New Orleans black magic feel to it.
Yeah.
But I said, realistically, like, it's a card game. It's a trick-taking card game. I could probably make most themes work. What inspires you? And he actually pretty quickly answered that he had always wanted to do this over-the-top, gory, in a family-friendly, cartoony way game. So in a gladiator theme. So he sent me some of his preliminary sketches that he had for years and said, this is what I was thinking. Do I need to tone it down? And I said, no, sir, you can tone it up. I said, do whatever you want. Do it the way you want to do it. So I think it turned out so great because he had as much fun as he did making the game as I had kind of tweaking the game.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it's immediately, you can see it from across the convention hall, this game. And I, like I said, have backed every single one of them. And yeah, this is by far like one of my favorite illustrations of all time.
Thank you.
Which is excellent. And last but not least, right behind us, we have Seven Souls. You may also be seeing Rise of the Elder Gods, which has been changed. But let's talk about Seven Souls for a little bit. So Seven Souls is the most recent Kickstarter you guys launched and completed. So congratulations on completing. What is it about Seven Souls? What does it bring to the table?
So Seven Souls is I've done changes as you see the Meteor Summit, the longer, heavier games, the quick trick-taking games.
Yep.
So Seven Souls is kind of that perfect middle ground of light gateway medium game where there's enough strategy to get the gamers interested, but also welcoming enough to get anyone kind of to the table. And it plays quickly. So it plays in that 30 to 40 minutes, and it has that range of 1 to 6 players. So which is really the games I'm able to get in now with my kids the age they are, and with the amount of work I'm doing just from the InsideUp Games publishing side of things, never mind the design side. I just don't have a lot of time to spend 6 hours, 4 hours playing a game.
Yeah.
So I want these fun, fast, involved games that you're going to enjoy and kind of get it out, which is kind of where Seven Souls came from. And it's that simultaneous action selection. We're kind of going through, everyone's kind of getting in there. That simultaneous action also has a relevance to when the cards are flipped and how they're activated, basically. So it kind of negates any analysis paralysis because you want to get your cards out before someone else. So there's not downtime. You're not stuck waiting for someone else. And then within that, I wanted to get into one of the worlds I haven't yet delved into, being Cthulhu and Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
So I reached out to a whole bunch of artists who had reached out to me over the years, and I sent them basically a request for quote and a request for sketches saying, here's my world. what does it look like for you? And I got back a fair number of submissions, including obviously the final pick, who is an artist named Reese Ap Gwyn, who's done phenomenal work, as I hope they can see in the background there, or check out on all the websites.
Yep.
But he just brought a beautiful look to the game. And that combined with the mechanics is going to hopefully make the players have fun and feel like they are the evil bad guys taking control of the good guys to help take over the world, gather souls, gather power, and kind of beat each other up a little bit.
Absolutely. So is the Lovecraft theme eminent domain, right? Where anyone can kind of pick up and run with it in a way?
So eminent domain, I actually haven't played yet.
No. Oh, no. Eminent domain, as in the actual Lovecraft universe.
Public domain.
Public domain.
That makes yes, it is public domain.
Eminent domain is about land, isn't it?
I was like, I haven't played
and
it.
it's also a space game by TMG.
So I haven't played that one.
I now totally forgot. So with Lovecraft being public domain, and there, FFG having a huge Cthulhu back catalog, and Simon delving into it. What do you hope that you want to bring different to the table with your Cthulhu theme than all those other companies?
Yeah, so what I'm hoping is from my Lovecrafting experience is going to be from gaming and not from the books themselves.
Sure.
And I can get into that a little bit after if we want. But basically, I wanted to come at it from the world of the bad guys. So instead of being the investigators, always doing the good thing, I want to do the. Sorry, it's right there. You're welcome.
There you go.
I want to come at it from the side of the bad guys, where players are having fun, kind of being evil. I try to be a really good guy all the time. Most of us try to be good people, so it's fun to be the bad guy when you're playing a game.
Yes.
So that's kind of the side I wanted to portray it from, and then the artwork, a very different look. So although it's kind of dark and creepy, again, it's fun and it's beautiful in its own way.
Yeah.
So it's not that super, super dark. It's not going to, scare the poop out of your kids when they see it.
Right.
But they're going to, it still has enough.
It's a creepy feeling. It's a
creepy
creepy looking box. So for those that don't know, there's a game of Dune, the reprint, that's literally right over there, and they just went nuts.
Yeah, that was
impressive. They just went completely nuts. So apologize for that. So, just to wrap things up, so Summit is available today, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so how much can they go to InsideUpGames.com and be able to pick it up?
Actually, and they certainly can, and I welcome them to do that, but I also welcome them to check out their local game stores. So I really hope, I'm in North American distribution, I'm in stores across Europe, we service the rest of the world through our online sales, but I really recommend going into your local game store, asking about it, hopefully, purchasing it from them, supporting them.
Yeah.
That trickles down to me as well. And I know it's hard to grow without supporting each other. So it's really good.
Same thing with Gorus Maximus, correct?
Yeah, Summit, Yeti, Vault Assault, Gorus Maximus are all available in stores. I only have a select number of the premium Gorus left from the Kickstarter, so those you'd have to get from the website.
Okay.
And then Seven Souls and the Teams expansion for Summit are still open for late pledges online.
Cool. So there's a couple of different Kickstarters. So for people that back Teams, when can we have Teams be delivered to Kickstarter backers?
The plan for Teams is end of this year.
End of this year, okay.
The plan for Seven Souls is beginning of next year, but I'm going to try to push and still get it for end of this year if I can.
Very cool, very cool. One of the things too, for those that have not yet backed one of your games, is that for a lot of people do like the early bird stuff, but for you do a couple of neat things. One is that you print every single backer into the cover. The back inside cover.
Yes and no. Sorry, and you hinted at it, but what you're actually implying is that that's my early bird bonus.
Yeah,
so it's my day one. So only
day
one backers.
Day one. Yes, that's what I was alluding to.
Yeah.
Which is cool because it's like when you see your name printed on something, it's always like a cool feeling to be able to be like, this is me.
What I like to tell people for Gorus is that if they look at it and their name's in the cover of Gorus, they share a box cover with Jamie Stegmaier. Right?
Yo, talk about being like famous now, right?
Exactly.
Cool. So so that pretty much wraps it up. However, we like to do certain things on the podcast where we like to talk about and ask quick fire lightning round questions. So I have a few of them for you that I'm going to talk about, and I'm also going to be asking these same questions throughout the show to people and taking a tally. So, first question: if you could be a die, D6, D8, D12, D20, D100, what type of die would you be?
That's a difficult question, actually. I'm putting way too much thought into it. I probably
no,
don't
please
need to.
put almost too much thought into it.
Which die would I be?
What kind of die would you be?
I'm drawn to the D6 purely from a childhood memory, being the most common of D6s,
Yes.
the common of dice.
Yeah.
I've just gotten into D&D, so that's where
Okay.
my appreciation of the D20 comes in. But part of me almost wants to say a D4, just because
D4,
there's
ooh,
such
that's
an
a good
annoying die, right? And I think that's funny. I was always a goalie in sports, so I was always kind of the odd man out.
Yeah.
So D4 is kind of fun, just because you like roll it and just kind of, it's like it's one of the least satisfying dice to roll, which is probably not a good thing if I wanted to be a die, but I think it's funny.
That I would not have expected. So by coming out of left field, that's an excellent choice. Next question. If you could have your likeness illustrated by anybody in the board game industry, who would you choose and why?
Man, I was hoping for softballs. These are hard. There are so many amazing artists. Amazing artists.
And they could be, you know what? And I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. If you don't feel like you can choose one, just throw out a couple. Who would you like? Like, would you like to be it more like real life, or would you want it to be like wacky and goofy? Like,
I don't know.
You know,
I love, my favorite part of any of my projects is the art.
Yes.
So like getting that stuff. So I would love to be an artist. I am not. So that's hard. Like I would love to see, like just because they're around me, I'd love to see Reese, who's done Seven Souls, do me. I'd love to see Quan Chai do a sketch because he's got that such a distinctive style to it.
Yes.
There's so many amazing artists that I'd like. It'd be fun to see. I don't know that I could pick one.
Okay, that's okay. Last question. You have a board game, and there's a bunch of different like rules and mechanics in a game that I don't think people really like. So, like for instance, player elimination. What else? Skipping a turn. Rolling to move. You have to pick one of those three in that game you're playing. Which of the three ones do you pick? Do you pick player elimination, rolling to move?
To put in or to take out?
To put in a game. You have to have one of those three things in, in your next
player elimination.
Yep. So in the next game you're designing, you have to include one of the three following mechanics: player elimination, rolling to move, or turn skipping.
So
skipping a player
I have turn skipping and player elimination in Summit.
That's right.
Yeah. So you
already beat me to the punch on this one.
Yeah. So rolling to move would be probably the one I would avoid the most.
Sure.
But even in my September game, you're using a die, but you're not rolling it. But it's numerical selection.
Yeah.
Chooses where you're going for your action selection. I am not. Depending on the game, I'm not afraid of player elimination. It gets people really wound up.
Yeah.
But if used properly, like in Summit, it makes sense because that's where the tension is built by you dying on the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
If you just respawn, then who cares? You don't care how much food you carry. You don't care.
Yeah.
So I got some grief from some gamers about the player elimination or the turn skipping. And it's just funny to me because to me, it's like it's that much more real if you have to deal with actual consequences.
Sure.
So
yeah.
I love them.
That's awesome. Final words. What would you like to say out there to the people watching and listening?
I would like to say thanks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for putting out the amazing content you guys do. Thanks for taking the time to interview me.
Yeah.
And thanks for making the board game hobby as positive a place as it is.
Thank you so very much. Again, Conor McGoey from InsideUp Games. Thank you again for being on, and we're going to sit here for another half hour.
Have a nap.
See you later.